Take your time. Take your time.
That's the thing though. You could either list off a whole bunch of people, or you could miss some people, and then people.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can get in their feelings. But I don't want to go through my phone and start reading.
That's fair, man. But
like you're reading a script or something at a speech.
I know. Say that for the graduation.
Oh yeah.
But shout out to Sobaz, because he's not here at the moment. Shouts out to everyone at CKDU, and we gonna get out of here. Swing Arrangements coming up next, and taking you out of here. Stetsonic. We're talking all that jazz. Here we go.
Classic.
See you later.
About the group Stetsonic.
The people are asking.
And the rest of this hip-hop music is just a passing fad, which 1, is not creative, 2, inspires violence, and 3, encourages thievery in the form of sampling. No further questions, please.
Well, please tell us the audience.
Well, here's how it started. Heard you on the radio, talking about rap, saying all that about how we sample, giving examples. Think we'll let you get away with that? You criticize our method of how we make records. You said it wasn't art, so now we're gonna rip you apart.
Stop. Check it out, my man. This is the music of a hip-hop band. Jazz, well, you can call it that.
But this jazz retains a new format.
Point. When you misjudged us, speculated, created a fuss.
You've made the same mistake politicians have. Talking all that jazz.
I heard talk is cheap, but like beauty, talk is just skin deep. And when you lie and you talk a lot,
people tell you to step off a lot. You see, you miss a.
The following program is presented to you in the high-power stereophonic sounds of CKDU in conjunction with...
My name is Charles Hsuen and I'm your host. December 21st, 1988. 1989.
My name is Charles Hsuen. Welcome. 1990.
And welcome to our 2nd anniversary show.
My name is Charles Hsuen. Welcome.
April 3rd, 1994. And welcome to our 6th anniversary show.
My name is Charles Hsuen. Welcome.
Today's date is October 18th, 2004. Welcome to Charles' Tape Series.
Welcome to the JSC.
Welcome to An Evening with Charles Hsuen.
Welcome to the Swing Arrangement with Charles Hsuen.
CQHS Productions, celebrating 30 years in broadcasting.
This is the high-power sounds of CKDU FM 88.1 MHz in Halifax.
A good Monday evening, everyone. Today's date is January 28th, 2019. Welcome to the Swing Arrangement with Charles Hsuen, right here on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax. I'm Charles Hsuen. I have music for you until the program closes. That's going to be down the line at 7:30 p.m. We're back once again to present to you 60 minutes of an eclectic selection of jazz and swing music as we do each and every Monday evening, and tonight is no exception. We're going to delve deep into my big band records, my jazz records, my hard bop records, my vocalists, my vocalese, and so many other ones of the 20th century and beyond. Plus, the request line always up and running, 902-494-2487, and also streaming. And just to launch the swing arrangement, I'd like to welcome each and every one of you into the CKDU studios. We're broadcasting to you live from the Dalhousie Student Union Building in the heart of downtown Halifax. If you're picking us up on local radio, it's frequency modulation station signal, 88.1 megahertz on your FM dial, on the internet at ckdu.ca. On Bella Line Digital TV Channel 796, East Link Digital TV Channel 951. You can also pick us up on your iPhone, iPod Touch, iPad, anything on the Android platform by going to ckdu.ca and clicking the Listen Live button on your screen. And you can also do the same by doing one of our many streaming services by going onto Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch TV, Twitter, or Instagram. And you can see the live feed and watch and listen to our broadcast simultaneously. If you want to contact me, you can do it one of three ways: lifting up your phone, giving us a shout here, 902-494-2487. You can email me with your requests at Charles H at dal.ca. That's my email address. And as well as you can add me to Facebook at facebook.com/CharlesHSuen, and you can chat with me in real time on Facebook Messenger. Well, we're going to start something nice and swinging. As I mentioned to you, we're going to delve in deep into my big band records. From 1968, this one, a classic Sammy Nestico composition. And it just really sums up how smooth, how laid back, how beautiful and syncopated and synchronized the Basie Band was. From the Dot music label, Basie released his first album of many with Sammy Nestico as the arranger, and found his niche for the last, I'd say, 15 years of the Basie Band with a great arranger, Sammy Nestico, who is still with us in his 90s and still conducting and arranging. Here is Basie Straight Ahead, the Count Basie Orchestra, with Count Basie on piano to kick things off right here on the swing arrangement with Charles Hsuen. presenting to you the best in jazz from the 20th century and beyond. You're listening to The Swing Arrangement with Charles Hsuen, celebrating 30 years in broadcasting. I think we're going to get our next tune. Here it is, On Green Dolphin Street. Gordon Goodwin and his Big Fat Band. That's Gordon Goodwin and his Big Fat Band, and that was On Green Dolphin Street. And that was from the album, The Big Fat Band. That was recorded in 1996, and a great rendition and heavily arranged. Before that, Basie Straight Ahead from 1968, Sammy Nestico from the same album title, and Basie Straight Ahead was Sammy Nestico's premier album with the Basie Band. That would, in the next 15 years, be arranger for the Basie Band exclusively, until Basie's death in 1984. My name is Charles Hsuen. This is The Swing Arrangement right here on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax. Continuing on sounds, you can't get better as far as vocalization than Anita O'Day when it comes to jazz singing. She was purely on point. She could sing very fast, very cleanly, without messing up her words, unlike myself. Here is T for Two, and you'll be able to listen to Anita O'Day's wonderful and precise vocalizations.
Thank you very kindly.
Picture me upon your new tea for two and two for tea. Can't you see how happy we're gonna be? Nobody near us sees here, it's friends, relays, we get vacation, won't have it known. We own a telephone there. Down we're breaking your way. Need a bag of sugar cake, you to take for all the boys to see. We raise a family, boy for you, girl for me. Can you see how happy we can be, we three? Picture me up on your knee, tea for two and two for tea. Now can't you see how happy we're gonna be? Nobody near us sees us here, it's friends, relays, we get vacation, won't have it. Now we own a telephone phone to hear. Down we're breaking you away from me, the bag of sugar cake, you to take for all the boys to see. We would raise a family, boy for you, a girl for me. Can you see how happy we can be, we three? Picture me up on your knee with tea for two and two for tea. Now can't you see how happy we're gonna be? Nobody near us sees us here, it's friends, relays, we get vacation, won't have it. No, we own a telephone phone there. Time to wreck you and me, the bag sugar cake, you to take with all the boys to see. Raise a family, boy for you, girl for me. Can't you see how happy we can be? Shabba that doo bop, shabba that doo. Doo bop, shabba that doo bop, shabba that doo. Picture me upon your knee, tea for two and two for tea. Can't you sing a happy week? Go, 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 big key. Nobody near us, it's friends, relays, we get vacation, won't have it. No, we own a telephone on the air. Down rag and whack, the back should gag. The tech will come the boys to see. We the rest of family, a boy for you, a girl for me. Can you sing how happy we can be? We three. Can you see how happy we can be? We three.
You're listening to The Swing Arrangement with Charles Hsuen on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax, celebrating 30 years in broadcasting. That tune entitled Bop Hop, recorded between the years of we're not going to hear more music from that. That was recorded between the years of 1949 and 1952 when Benny Goodman decided to stray away from his stock arrangements of Fletcher Henderson and go to the new music of bebop. And that was a very clear indication of just how great Benny Goodman was as a musician to play any type of music. Even though he loathed the music, he played it very competently, and these were arrangements done by Chico O'Farrell and Wardell Gray between the years of 1949 and 1952, as I mentioned, and that was Bop Hop. Before that, we heard sounds by Anita O'Day with Tea for Two, and that was a live performance in 1962 from Stockholm, Sweden. You can hear the precise vocalizations of Anita and her scatting. She was very competent in that as well. Another competent vocalist was Ella Fitzgerald, and she had been for years under the management of Norman Granz, who was also the founder of Clef Records, and then thereafter Verve Records, and then after that Pablo. And this was the very first album for Pablo in 1972. It took place on the 2nd of June of that year in the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium in Santa Monica, California. Now, what was supposed to happen was this was supposed to be a jazz party, much in the same way as Jazz at the Philharmonic back in the late 1940s and early 1950s in New York. But Norman Granz decided to start a brand new label with a number of great jazz musicians, sort of a party. And all they were supposed to hear was Count Basie along with Oscar Peterson. But other people showed up, like Stan Getz and Dizzy Gillespie, and the First Lady of Song, Ella Fitzgerald. Here, Ella sings Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, done with a big band style, and you'll hear the vocal range and styling of Ella Fitzgerald towards her latter years, seeking out new material, but still sounding her original Ella self. Here's What's Going On.
Mother, there's far too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. We gotta find a way to bring some loving in today. Oh yeah. Father, you see, war is not the answer. Only love can conquer hate. We gotta find a way to bring some love in today. Picket lines and picket signs don't punish me with brutality. You just talk to me. You will see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. Tell me, hey, tell me, baby. Come on, and tell me what's going on. Hey, Daddy, what's happening? Yeah, you can believe what it is I know that boy. Why do they complain about your hair being long? Brother, why do they think we're all wrong? We gotta find a way to bring some love in today. Picket lines and picket signs. Hey, don't talk to me about brutality. Speak to me, Daddy, and you will see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
You're welcome, Ella Fitzgerald. Ella Fitzgerald, live at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium in 1972, January 2nd of that year, and, June the 2nd of that year. That was her very first appearance on Norman Grantz's Pablo label, doing Marvin Gaye's What's Going On, and with the Count Basie Orchestra. Just a wonderful night that was. If you're just joining us, this is the Swing Arrangement right here on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax. My name is Charles Hsuen, and I'm broadcasting to you live on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax, along with feeds on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch TV, Twitter, and Instagram. Please join me by searching any one of those particular apps, and you just have to search Charles Hsuen, and I will be on your video feed, coming to you live. And if you want to watch the archive, you can do the same thing with those particular applications and revisit some of the music that we play. In the next hour, or next half hour, we're going to present to you some more great music, but first we're going to give you the BBC World News Service Bulletin to give you an alternative source of news of what's going on in our world that we live in today. From London's broadcasting house, the most trusted news source, the BBC World News Service. Then we're going to give you your weather and community announcements, and then come back with some more great jazz music. If you want to call in, you can make a request at 902-494-2487. You can email me with your request at charlesh@dal.ca. You can add me to Facebook at facebook.com/CharlesHSuen and communicate me through Facebook Messenger, or go to one of those streaming sites and chat with me and let me know that you are out there. And coming up, we're going to have a little Blossom Dearie, a little Miles Davis, and then we're going to delve in more deeper into our library in the next half hour. Once again, this is CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax, and now here come the beeps to the BBC World News Service. And that is coming up your way right now.
This is CKDU FM 88.1 MHz in Halifax. From London's broadcasting house, the most trusted news source, this is the BBC World News Service.
Hello, I'm Julie Candler with the BBC News. The United States has imposed sanctions on the Venezuelan state oil company PDVSA. The Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, said the proceeds of the purchase of Venezuelan oil would be withheld from the government of Nicolás Maduro, but the company could avoid sanctions by recognizing the opposition leader Juan Guaidó as interim president. Mr. Mnuchin made these allegations against the company.
PDVSA has long been a vehicle for embezzlement, for corruption, for Venezuelan officials and businessmen. Today's designation of PDVSA will help prevent further diversion of Venezuela's assets by Maduro and will preserve these assets for the people of Venezuela where they belong.
Oil revenues account for the vast majority of Venezuela's export income. It currently sells a little less than half its crude oil to the United States. From Washington, Barbara Pletasher looks at the implications of today's announcement.
It's expected, but it's also significant because this is an attempt by the U.S. to remove significant source of income, cash income for the Maduro regime. And it's not only to prevent Maduro from getting the money, in the words of John Bolton, to continue looting the assets of the Venezuelan people. It's also to move that money to the opposition. And that is, I think, the key thing here. So Mr. Mnuchin said that if money was coming in from the buying of oil and if it was put into a blocked account, then American refineries could continue buying it.
Mr. Guaidó said that he's taken control of PDVSA and its refining subsidiary in the US, Citgo. He said he had begun the process of naming new directors for the two companies. The U.S. Justice Department has unveiled more than 20 charges against the Chinese telecoms company Huawei. They include accusations of bank fraud and obstructing justice that implicate two of its subsidiaries and high-level executives, including its chief financial officer Meng Wanzhou. She's currently in detention in Canada. One charge accuses Huawei affiliates of stealing trade secrets from a U.S. rival, T-Mobile. The FBI Director Christopher Wray said the alleged actions were indicative of wider policy at the Chinese firm.
Both sets of charges expose Huawei's brazen and persistent actions to exploit American companies and financial institutions and to threaten the free and fair global marketplace. Huawei and its senior executives repeatedly refused to respect U.S. law and standard international business practices.
Researchers in the United States estimate that 300 million working hours were lost because of the recent 5-week government shutdown. They say this translates into a loss to the economy of $3 billion. 800,000 government employees have returned to work. World News from the BBC.
You have been listening to the BBC World News Service, brought to you by CKDU 88.1 MHz in Halifax. Listener-supported radio.
91 FM. BBC Radio 2.
What's tomorrow's weather? What's the low? What's the high? Will it be wet or dry?
Here's your Metro Weather Call forecast for Halifax and the surrounding area for this Monday, January 28th. Tonight, partly cloudy, winds coming from the northwest at 50 kilometers per hour, then becoming light after midnight. Low of minus 12, except minus 16 in low-lying inland areas. Wind chill at minus 8 in the evening and minus 20 overnight. On Tuesday, mainly sunny, winds gusting up to 20 kilometers per hour, high of minus 3, wind chill at minus 20 in the morning, then minus 8 in the afternoon. UV index reading at 2, which is in the low category. Tuesday night, clear, increasing cloudiness near midnight, then periods of snow beginning before morning, with a low of minus 7, with the temperature rising to minus 2 by morning, wind chill near minus 12. On Wednesday, snow or rain, high of 3 and a low of minus 6. Thursday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of minus 4 and a low of minus 13. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, highs of minus 8, minus 6, minus 2, and lows of minus 12, minus 10, and minus 11, respectively. For more weather information, log on to weather.gc.ca. Current temperature outside the studios of CKDU. It's minus 2 degrees Celsius with a wind chill at minus 7. That's your Metro Weather Call forecast.
Here is the news, the latest news.
Frontier College is a non-profit literacy charity since 1899. Nationally, we have 2,600 volunteers. We believe literacy is a right. Low literacy is directly linked to poor education, poverty, high unemployment, poor health, crime, and other social issues. They are looking for recruiting volunteer tutors. For more information, go to Frontier College in Halifax by calling 902-494-7003 or email halifax@frontiercollege.ca. That's 902-494-7003, halifax@frontiercollege.ca. CKDU is looking for new volunteers. If you're interested in music or spoken word programming, come on up. If you always want to know the technical aspects of radio, we have lots for you to learn. If you're more behind-the-scenes personality, there's research, music reviewing, and music production to do. CKDU is located on the 4th floor of the Dalhousie Student Union Building. The address is 6136 University Avenue, and our website's ckdu.ca. What is MOSH? MOSH is the Mobile Outreach Street Health, founded in 2009 as a separately funded of the North End Community Health Center. A small but mighty staff of healthcare professionals providing frontline healthcare to vulnerable individuals who are experiencing homelessness, staying in shelters, or are street involved and living in chaos. Go to their new clinic on Gottingen Street where individuals can access physicians, occupational therapy, and management help. That concludes your community news.
You're listening to The Swing Arrangement with Charles Hsuen on 88.1 CKDU Halifax.
Continuing on sounds with the ever-youthful sounding Blossom Dearie, as I promised, her most requested song from her repertoire. Written by Bob Duro and Dave Frishberg, here is I'm Hip, live in performance at Ronnie Scott's Club in London, England in 1967. Oh, I don't have that pot up here. Here it is.
I'm no square, I'm alert, I'm awake, I'm aware. I am always on the scene, making the rounds, digging the sounds. I read Playboy magazine 'cause I'm hip. I dig, I'm in step. When it was hip to be hip, I was hip. I don't blow, but I'm a fan. Look at me swing, ring-a-ding-ding. I even call my girlfriend man, I'm so hip. Every Saturday night, with my suit buttoned tight and my suede's on, I'm getting my kicks, watching arty French flicks with my shades on. I'm too much, I'm a gas, I am anything but middle class. When I hang around the band, popping my thumbs, digging the drums. Squares don't seem to understand why I flip. They're not hip like I'm hip. I'm hip, I'm alive. I enjoy any joint where there's jive. I'm on top of every trend. Look at me go, vo-de-o-do. Bobby Darin knows my friend, I'm so hip. I'm hip, but not weird. Like you notice, I don't wear a beard. Beards were in, but now they're out. They had their day, now they're passé. Just ask me if you're in doubt, 'cause I'm hip. Now whatever the fads, and whatever the ads say, it's Neatsville. I'll be keeping abreast, out in front of the rest with Elitesville. 'Cause I'm cool as a cuke. I'm a cat, I'm a card, I'm a kook. I get so much out of life. Really I do, scuba-doo-boo. One more time, play Mac the knife, let her rip. I may flip, but I'm hip. Woo-hoo, I'm hip. I'm hip. Scuba-doo-ba-doo-doo, boo-boo, doo-ba-doo-doo-doo.
Bringing to you the colors of jazz, you're listening to The Swing Arrangement with Charles Hsuen on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax. That was It Never Entered My Mind, Richard Rodgers' composition, recorded in May and October of 1956, but not released until December of 1959 at Rudy Van Gelder's studios in Hackensack, New Jersey. That was from the album Workin' with the Miles Davis Quintet. That was Miles Davis on trumpet, and we had Red Garland on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, and Philly Joe Jones on drums. It was the quintet, but Coltrane was not there for that particular piece. I think it was apropos for Coltrane not to be in that piece because Miles Davis's trumpet was absolutely marvelous. Before that, I'm Hip from 1967, actually recorded in 66 in Soho in London at the Ronnie Scott's Club in London, England. That was Blossom Dearie and Johnny Butts and his trio with I'm Hip, and that was words and music by Dave Frischberg and Bob Giroux. My name is Charles Hsuen, and this is the Swing Arrangement right here on CKDU 88.1 FM in Halifax. Something comes from 1990 on Merriman Partland's Piano Jazz series on NPR. These were radio transcription recordings. Her guest was Dick Hyman, who is still with us in his late 80s. He's a composer and soundtrack arranger. He performs still, and he wrote an arrangement of Merriman Partland's Delicate Balance, but performed it in a very introspective way, which Merriman really, really appreciated. Here is a Delicate Balance from 1990. Latin, bebop, swing, big band fusion, and cool jazz. We have it all here on the Swing Arrangement with Charles Hsuen, celebrating 30 years in broadcasting. The S. Fjord Svensson Trio. Very, very, very out there and progressive. That was Spambo Limbo. That's from the album Good Morning, Susie Soho from 1996. Well, our theme is fading up, which means it's time for Pirate Radio, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining with me. I will be back in 2 weeks' time, as I will be in Toronto next week. So, same time, same station on 2 weeks from tonight from the Swing Arrangement. And thank you for listening. Until I speak with you again, I'm Charles Hsuen. Thank you for letting me broadcast for you. Good night, everyone.